The crisis in East Asia is spiraling. Military tension between Japan and China are escalating by the minute, and now American warfare have entered the picture. These are B-52 strategic bombers. These warplanes are capable of firing nuclear weapons, and the US has sent two of them. Today, these two warplanes play with Japanese jets. They were two American B-52 bombers. They were escorted by three Japanese F-35s and three F-15 fighter jets. All these planes flew together in tight formation over waters between Japan and South Korea. And what was the purpose of this operation? Usually, these exercises are meant to test interoperability and readiness. Pilot practice real-time coordination, tactics and communication, basically everything they will need in a real crisis. But this wasn't a routine drill because look at the location and the timing. This operation happened in the same location where Russia and China flew fighter jets. And it happened barely 24 hours after Russia and China did it. So today's operation is a response from Japan. They were backed by the United States. Together they sent a message to Beijing and Moscow: do not challenge the status quo. Refrain from further military escalation. Japan says today's response is for the show of readiness, and China has responded.
China's Ministry of National Defense has released related information on the China-Russia joint patrol, and we made response yesterday. Let me stress once again that this China-Russia Joint Strategic Air Patrol is an operation carried out under the Annual Cooperation Plan and demonstrates the two sides' determination and capability in jointly responding to regional security challenges and safeguarding regional peace and stability. There is no need for Japan to make a fuss or feel targeted.
China is making this sound like trivial matter, but Japan feels differently. They believe the China aggressive actions are national security threat. So they've sought help from the US military. Tokyo is building support, it's calling of allies, it has dialed leaders across global capitals. Japan's defense minister is reaching out to allies. So far he's spoken to leadership of Italy and he has briefed NATO, told them about the radar lock incident. This is what happened over the weekend. It was more serious face-off in years between Japan and China. You see, when the fighter jets locks radar on another plane, it signals one thing. An attack can be just seconds away. So the target is supposed to react. The target must either dodge the radar alone or they must prepare to fire back. And this is why Tokyo called this incident dangerous. Japan said China had crossed a line. Chinese jets were a step ahead to fire a missile, but China insists that none of this happened. And after days of silence, the US has spoken. The US Department finally issued a statement yesterday. It criticized China. It calls the US-Japan alliance unwavering. Then the American warplanes joins the picture. The Americans sent these B-52 bombers. And now we have four powers, China and Russia on one side, Japan and US on the other, flexing their military might on the same skies. It's a powder cake. One mistake and it could blow up into a full-fledged war. This is making Japanese businesses nervous. Reuters has released a survey. It's released a mood of corporate Japan. What are their top concerns for 2026? A question they were asked. And the answer wasn't inflation or energy, the answer was China. 25% of Japanese firms said that China was their biggest worry, their number one risk. And the number two risk is US trade policies. 22% of businesses flag that as a risk, and it's understandable. China and America are key trading partners with Japan. In fact, China is Japan's biggest trading partner. It supplies important components to Japanese industries like rare rocks and electronic parts. So if relations hit a new low, they will hit supply chains in Japan. and China is already building pressure. China has issued travel warning. It has forced travel airlines to cancel flights to Japan. It blocks the supplies of Japanese seafood. All these moves impact businesses' confidence. Military escalation only make it worse, and this should be a worry. Just for Japan, for the region, and also for the world. We cannot afford another flashpoint later on a war.